All right, good one. Let's get ready to get started so that we can try to make up as much time as possible. Good morning. I'm Professor Juhann from North Carolina A&T, and I am here to give you a presentation on why select or why to go to graduate school. So what I want to do is start out with my presentation outline, give you an introduction, tell you a little bit about myself. We'll go over learning objectives, learning outcomes, and then we'll go through, of course, my presentation on why to do graduate school. And then I'll do a conclusion at the end, and then I'll allow you guys a few minutes to ask me questions about the presentation or in life in general. So I think I have a really unique background in most of your professors that you have at your respective institutions. Learning objectives for this presentation is to talk about reasons to pursue an advanced degree, considerations to begin the application process, complete the application process, and then gain an admission into graduate school. My learning outcomes is to be knowledgeable about why graduate school is important, knowledgeable about preparing for graduate school, and then be informed about the benefits of attending and investing in graduate studies and career paths as a graduate student that's available to you. What I like to do is do a little activity called Discovering Commonalities. And what I want you to do is probably get into groups of 4. And groups of 4 generate a list of 20 things that you know about graduate school. And you'll have, let's say, 10 minutes to complete this exercise, and at the end of this exercise, we'll get a representative from each group to go through the list of why the things you know about graduate school. Take a few minutes to do that now. And what we want to do to make this interesting, if you're, intermingle with people from other universities, so don't get in a group. I want to see all of A&T together, all of the University of New Mexico, all of Southern together. I want you to mix it up.
New Mexico State. I guess my name is. Oh, wow. I went to a party.
Now we'll cut this time down. Let's do it in 5 minutes.
Jerry. That's it? Yeah. You guys are from the same place, right?
Right.
Oh, cool. Aggies.
Yeah. Aggies. Yeah. You guys, what's your name? My name is Arthur. Artie.
Like Arthur.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Mexico State University. Yeah, I was born there. Born and raised, so that's where I went to school today. Or still going, actually. You guys, where are you from?
I'm from Prairie, and it's like it's nearby Houston, Texas. Prairie's
a little bit outside, yeah. Yes. That's where we landed yesterday when we were traveling by you.
From Nashville, Tennessee State. One actually from Chicago.
Okay. City. Grew up in the cities down there?
From a big city.
We got somebody who's experienced.
Like studying in Tennessee? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
The question is, list 20 things you know about graduate school.
How small this town is.
Very.
The other things you know.
So small. He was going up.
Yeah, there's a group you make 20 things you know about graduate school.
20 things we know about graduate school. Expensive. Is that number 1?
Sure. So who's going to write it down? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll write it down. So how old are you? I am a little bit old. I'm 26. Oh. I thought like in general, like undergraduates, it's like relatively younger. So, yeah. I've been in school for. Oh, civil engineering. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Actually, switched from civil and kind of go on freshman year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Trying
believe
to compete for our jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe you because, like, at Prairie View, like, since our, like, civil department is so hard, a lot of people, like, end up, like, switching from civil to mechanical. And because, like,
About 3 more minutes.
the course are, like,
The same, yeah, it's all the same for us. Like, the criteria is all the same.
yeah, statics, dynamics.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long does it typically take students like yours to finish?
Longer than usual, actually. But in my case, like, I started at University of Houston, and like, I got sidetracked. Like, I was in the fraternity, and like, lost 4 years like that. Then I had to like get back and work hard and like get back into engineering. And I was just left with like 10 classes, professional degree, including No, I mean, like, I was in a Salvation fraternity, like, myself Indian, so it's called, like, it's called that type of inside.
That's cool.
So we got
Almost done?
expensive, time consuming. We make the GRE.
All right, let's go through the list. Who wants to go first? We need,
Everything from the survey.
that's close enough.
You need resume.
Like 20, but I'd just like to have what you have. All right, say your name and what university you're from, and then go through your age.
My name is Eva Bell, and I'm from Southern University. I major in mechanical engineering. And I already said we said for the business part, we didn't actually come up with anything limited, but we said that the salary increases, more in-depth knowledge, better opportunities, scholarships and funding. You have networking and close relationships with the people that you're working with, rather than the workforce. You may make those relationships, but at the same time, they're probably not as personal. Research-based study, fellowships and TAs, less amount of credit, more projects, less time in school, and more conferences.
Now, what I want to do real quick, each one of your group members say your name and which university you're from, so everybody can meet everybody.
I'm Chantal McCoy. I'm from North Carolina A&T State University. Oh, I'm civil engineering.
Mitra English. I go to the University of Maryland Eastern Shore studying aerospace engineering.
My name is Santiago. I'm from Prairie View University and the Civil Engineering.
Next group. You guys.
Well, my name is Nicholas Petrak, and I go to A&T University.
Yeah,
I'm a civil engineer. And a lot of the things are the same as my group does. We were saying like more research and more concentrated research. Like, as a civil engineer, so broad, but like you go to graduate school, you can do like transportation or structural, or you can really get in depth of what you want to learn rather than something broad. Tuitions you get your tuition paid, you get a stipend. You get mentors, you get really close to your faculty members. It really gets better for networking skills. Stronger resume, higher chance of getting a better paid job. And that's pretty much it.
Group members?
My name is Jethro Kerr. I go to Southern University. I'm a major in electrical engineering. I'm doing it also.
Esther, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, aerospace engineering.
My name is Lindy Hangiano. I'm from New Mexico State University. And where we put, it's pretty much the same thing. It's expensive. It's specific more to your content. I'm not an engineer. I'm getting my BS in biology and going into education and then it's more research intensive, and you can either have a thesis or like a project. I hadn't really heard that. I thought everything was more thesis driven. You get paid for it, which you didn't think of, and you have like a mentor, so you get closer. It's not so big like other classes. You don't necessarily have to teach, but you can like that. And it's like a working degree.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Craig Beasy Jr., studying civil engineering at Prairie View University.
Hello, my name is Cameron Diller. I'm a
senior studying mechanical engineering at Southern University and A&M College.
I'm Matthew Furby, a junior civil engineering student at North Carolina A&T.
Thanks. Let's go in the back.
Alright, so we came up with
Hold on, first, who are you?
sorry. I'm Jerry Sanchez from New Mexico State University, majoring in mechanical engineering.
Okay.
So we came up with one, it's expensive, two, kind of a long process, you know. I mean, well, you know, you're always studying. It's time consuming. They said a lot of coffee, we know that's gonna happen. It's gonna be academically challenging, requiring a lot of study groups, get paid for what we're gonna be doing, a lot of communication skills, and then you'll get emotional. See, the schedule is pretty relaxed, you know, it's not that many credits, 9 to 12, you know. We have more opportunity and there is more pressure.
Okay. And quickly, your group members?
My name is Juhann, civil engineering at A&T State University.
Okay.
My name is Ayakunle Conway. I attend the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and mechanical.
Okay.
I'm just sitting in.
Oh, okay. No, not me. I'm just sitting in.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Evan Abraham, civil engineering student at Prairie View A&M University. And our group has come up with like 13 different things. Number one, graduate school is expensive. Number two, it's time consuming. Number three, we need to take GRE, and the admission rate depends on like your GRE scores. Number four, hard. Number five, good resume. Number six, letters of recommendation. Number seven, research experience. Number eight, it has its own benefits. Number nine, higher pay. Number 10, good GPA. Number 11, scholarships. Number 12, working closer with faculty and your professors. And at number 13, increasing your thinking and intellectual ability.
Okay. Quickly, group members.
My name is Naila Walters. I'm a senior at Tennessee State University. I'm a civil engineering major.
My name is James Jones, graduating senior at Tennessee State University, civil engineering.
And my name is Arturo Dominguez, sophomore at New Mexico State University and majoring in mechanical engineering.
Okay, good. Well, thank you everybody for putting that together. What we're going to do, or what this presentation is to give you some more tools or information on graduate school so you can put that in your toolbox to make the decision whether if you're on the fence, whether to go to graduate school or not to go to graduate school. So that's what we're going to go through next. So, what is graduate school? Graduate school provides specialized knowledge and training in your chosen field of study. Like you said, in the information that you in your groups, it gives you more specialized knowledge. You get to really delve down into the details of the field of choice that you like, you're excited about. What makes you excited? What gets you up in the morning? So you get to do in-depth studies on that, and it provides more depth to subjects already taken in your field of study. And then it allows you the ability to engage in research and other intellectual activities to advance and contribute to the already scholarly body of knowledge that exists out there. And then it also requires a personal commitment, to go to graduate school. Like some say, all the coffee, the long hours. Graduate school is interesting, but everybody can get through it. Some of the reasons why I chose to get an advanced degree: number one, personal growth. You get to grow as an individual. Those long nights, drinking all that coffee, staying up, it makes you a better person. It stretches you, but it never breaks you. So you get to kind of learn a little bit more about yourself, from a personal level as well as from an academic level. And then it gives you greater employment opportunities because you expand your knowledge base, so you're exposed to items that you're not necessarily exposed to on the undergraduate level. You can also get a greater career advancement opportunities, meaning the more knowledge you have, you'll be able to, likely, depending on the chosen field, you may be able to advance faster than somebody that just has a BS degree or just a master's degree based on your body of knowledge. Once you finish that degree, go through all those rigors and late nights, you feel kind of a sense of accomplishment. because some of you sitting here thinking, I can't go to graduate school, it's so hard, it's such a great task, but once you finish that, there's a sense of self-pride, a sense of self-preservation. And then also you get greater recognition and credibility with that, because again, now you're starting to become an expert in a chosen field. And so now people start, looking upon you and looking to you for that knowledge in that chosen field. And then also your field of study requirements. You also need to figure out what your field of study requirements. And then there's also sometimes at the end of the day a financial reward where once you get out to the workforce as far as a salary requirement. Those are some of the reasons why I think pursuing an advanced degree is important. Trends in pursuing advanced degrees. Trends in the economy show that in the U.S. becoming extremely dependent on seeking a highly educated workforce. Back years ago we used to be more of an industrial nation, and now we're in the technological age. So, the big push is for advanced degrees, technological degrees. Let's become the technological leaders of the world. Between 2008 and 2018, approximately 2.5 million jobs will require a master's, doctoral, or an advanced degree. That's a fact. And the reason for that is because our world problems are getting more complex. They're not getting simple. So we need advanced computer programs to be able to run different probabilities, because we're running into complex problems that 20 years ago we would have never thought that the world could be this complex and complicated. Another trend what this graph here shows is the unemployment rate and the median weekly income 2014. So it's last year's data from the Labor and Bureau of Statistics organization. You can see if you have a less than a high school diploma, your unemployment rate is fairly high, 9%. I think 2009 we went through what everybody's calling the Great Recession, where a lot of markets contracted, and so we had a lot of people unemployed. I think unemployment rate hit in some states 10, 12, 13%. That's very high. And so a lot of those folks were probably less college educated, fall into that 9%, but it trickled its way up. And as you can see, if you have a master's degree beyond a bachelor's, your unemployment rate was about 2.8, and then when you get to professional degrees and doctoral degrees, it was about, for a professional degree, 1.9, and then your doctoral, 2.1. And your professional degrees would be degrees that's required for lawyers, doctors, things like that you have to have that advanced degree in order to be able to practice. And then you can see the income differential. As you get a master's degree, you earn roughly about $200 more weekly, and it progresses. So over the term of your career, the monetary benefit would be cumulative as you go along. Other trends is, as you can see, these are a list of fields that require some type of advanced degree in order to be able to practice these fields. So you got economists now, psychologists, speech pathologists, statisticians, urban and regional planners, nurses, librarians. So it's just not for the engineering or STEM majors. It's starting to branch out and touch other fields and majors that, here again, 10 years ago, they didn't require a master's degree to be deemed proficient in that particular field. So some of this stuff on this list may be fields for those of you who are not engineers that you want to pursue. So it may be important for you to be able to put your foot in the door that you have to go and get an advanced degree just to be able to practice those fields. Now we're going to do a little bit of soul searching, because I think some of you guys probably in this room are probably on the fence of whether I go to graduate school or whether I go and start working sometime down the road. How many people are on the fence on whether they want to go to graduate school or not? Be honest? Okay, so about half. All right, got a little exercise for you. So in your same groups, generate a list of 5 reasons for attending graduate school and 5 reasons for not attending graduate school. And we're going to do this in about 5 minutes. Gave y'all some information. Now let's use that information to create these 2 lists.
Pretty much, it's all
We can change the finances for,
We got two lists, a list for reasons for going to graduate school, or reasons not going to graduate school. And for each group, I would like a different speaker than the one that's on.
Professional, it's like the training practices, like for doctors and lawyers, you need to have that professional. Like you went to the specific school for this training, for this practice.
So like med school, the doctor's like professional school. Let's get the doctor title from
So 5 reasons too.
Cheat off, you get it.
Graduate school. I'm not even pro-graduate school right now. I'm probably on the con side.
So you should be 5 reasons against it then.
If you can't take it, it doesn't exist. If you can't take it, it doesn't exist. So that's the job you need to do.
To go to grad school. Better job opportunities.
Yeah.
I guess it could be stressful.
Okay.
Time is, you don't have the time.
Don't have the time.
Time, money.
Like time is more relative to working. So you get work. Yeah, money too. Knowledge.
I'm scared.
Advanced knowledge. Yeah, you can put advanced knowledge for grad school.
Reset, but I think y'all can't think of reasons why not.
If they can't think
it doesn't exist. Everybody else like that list like this one like, whoa. The other list is supposed to be that.
Yeah, because like you're working like in the long hours and you had to be dead.
All right, 1 more minute.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of respect. You feel a master's degree, like what do you call it?
All right, time's up. Let's start in the back and work our way back around this time. Let's do it in the reverse order. Y'all can remember the order.
Like you have the expertise.
They want you guys to start.
They want us to start?
And they want you to speak.
If you don't have time, just say what you have.
Okay.
That's it. They doesn't want you to speak.
Okay, I'll speak.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We didn't finish our list, but we have 3 on each side. So these are the cons for grad school. Better job opportunities, advancing your knowledge, and social respect. Against going to graduate school, time, money, and stress.
Time, money, and stress. Maybe. That's not a good reason.
We said for the positives, better knowledge, you become an expert at your field, and you get better pay. And for the negatives, you have scared of challenges, you're a lot of money, and social. I guess social research. Yeah, social research.
What was the last one?
Social research.
I guess where you gotta start all over,
Making friends and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the party life, you got to reset your party life.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. Well, hey, I got to just start over for party life. Next.
All right, some of the cons we mentioned were higher pay, more efficient, you get to do what you want, self-accomplishment, and it's more specific to your job.
Is it
Some of the why nots would be, need to work harder, some people might have financial problems. Then another one was family. Some people might have kids, children, have obligations. And then the opportunity to get into grad school, competitive, things like that. And lastly, is time.
Okay.
All right, for our group, we have 4 things for why. We have higher pay, expanding knowledge, more job opportunities, and funding. But we have funding for both sides.
Well, you can't have funding for both sides, one or the other.
But you can have funding for both sides. For the why nots, we have time-consuming, stressful research and funding.
Okay. So you put the funding in the maybe column.
Yeah, in the middle. So.
Yeah, great column. Okay.
Well,
I can
it
live
can
with
go
that.
for both depending on what.
You might have lots, or you might get
We're gonna talk about that a little bit. All right, the last group.
Okay. For reasons to go to grad school, you get salary increase, better opportunities, independent research, and you have the ability to educate others and the knowledge acquired. Our reasons for not going to grad school is if you're tired of school, if it's a necessity work, like you get a family support, the stress of having to pay for grad school and having to maintain your GPA, and if you're not accepted.
How come you were backing him? You didn't want him to know this?
Oh, I was talking to them.
I heard you.
I get no respect. All right, so I'm going to come back to that. Hopefully we have some time at the end because I want to give you a little bit about my little life story and then we'll do the questions. So soul searching, at least for me, reasons to pursue an advanced degree is increase your earning potential, professional growth and development, and your advancement in career, and enjoy gaining knowledge about your chosen field of study. So those are reasons why you should. And I don't have a reason why you should not go to graduate school. To me, going to graduate school is all positive because if it's a field that you truly enjoy, love, eat, breathe, sleep, then learning about it should not be a problem. So the stresses of not making the bar, they should be a non-issue because you enjoy what you do. But I do hear, yes, sir.
So what are like family constraints?
Family constraints, there are programs around that where you can go to graduate school part-time. So you don't have to be a full-time student, and there are sometimes still assistantships available to part-time students because there are some graduate programs, for example, some MBA programs. They require you to be in the workforce in order for you to be accepted. And so those folks go to class either on the weekends or at night, and then now the new trend is online study. So there's opportunity for you to go online and get advanced degree. So there's ways around those type of obstacles. And here again, the lovely thing about grad school is you get to pace yourself to some degree. Nobody wants to be in school for 20 years, but if you have extenuating circumstances like you have family, other commitments that you need to take care of while you're getting your degree, graduate school allots for that. So like I said, you could be a part-time student and still work, but keep in mind that the assistantship would not be as much as if you were a full-time graduate student.
If I may chime in, an 80-year lady graduated with her BS after raising all her kids. So how difficult can it be for you to do your master's or PhD? Just think about it. She took all that time and she still had the pursuit of knowledge, which is what graduate school is, the pursuit of knowledge. And at the end of the day, at 80, she got her BS and celebrated her life. So you shouldn't sell yourself short.
Correct. And so you don't have to do it immediately after you get your BS. There are some people out there that go, they get a BS in, I don't know, let's say social work. And they start doing that for a number of years and they realize, I like social work, but that's not really my passion. And so then they go back and get a master's degree in another field that is their passion. So, just because you got your undergraduate degree in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, psychology, does not necessarily mean that you have to get your advanced degree in that same field. I mean, you know, you can do some more soul searching between leaving undergrad and getting your pursuing that advanced degree. All right, so I think I skipped this one. So what's next? The graduate school process. Let's make sure I didn't skip another one. Okay. The graduate school process is, what you want to do is, when you start to look at graduate schools, is look at the research rate and reputation of the graduate school program that you want to go to. Make sure that it has the concentration that you're interested in. They're doing research and projects that get you excited. Because then that takes down that stress level. Because there's nothing worse than going to work every day and going to graduate school every day, doing a research project that you don't like or doing something that you're not excited about. Second thing is you need to find out what the requirements for admission are for that particular university or graduate program in your chosen field of study. And then you need to ask questions about what type of research is being conducted by faculty, professors in your chosen field of study, and how long are those research projects going to last. Because you don't want to go, you know, they tell you about a research project and you're all excited about it and they're at the tail end of it and it'll be done in 2 months. And so when you get accepted and you get there, you think you're going to, you know, have an opportunity to work on this research project and it's done, and then you're again stuck doing a research project that you're not passionate about. You also want to find out what student services are available at the school in the respective programs. You want to find out what type of assistantships they have, what type of financial support, what type of resources they have. Also want to find out, and I just touched on what type of financial support they can expect from students. There are some graduate programs that are very heavily research intensive that can you know, pay for your tuition and give you a stipend and do some other things and allow you to go to conferences and present papers and do things that you might be passionate about, where other programs may not be that research intensive, more teaching intensive. Where they're not allowed to, you know, they don't have the resources to allow you to do those things. Other question, I'm going to go through this quickly, is how much educational debt does the graduate students leave with? That's a very important question. My philosophy is when you go into graduate school getting an advanced degree, you should not have to pay a dime out of your pocket. They should be paying you because you have a resource that they want. Your resource is your brain. You want to absorb knowledge. So the answer to that question should be 0 or very minimal. You also want to find out how many graduate students are within your program and complete the program of study. Here again, due to circumstances beyond everybody's control, you know, maybe have family obligations, other obligations that come up with. You might have some students that are in the program longer than others, but you want to find out what is the average time does it take a person to complete the graduate program. Because I have seen situations where we like to call it the vortex. Students get trapped in this vortex and they can't get out, and they become frustrated. And when you become frustrated, you do not finish your program of study. The location of the university and the associated cost of living. For me personally, I do not like the cold, so I will not be going to Canada to get an advanced degree. I'll be going somewhere warm. So you need to take that into consideration. And that goes, you know, along with your social life. You know, make sure it's someplace that you can do the activities that you like to do. And then also you want to find out from the programs, where are your, you know, past graduates employed, to make sure that they are working in fields of study, you know, related to their degree, and that they are getting, you know, good jobs and opportunities. And then you need to find out what the expectations of that particular program at that university. Some programs require you to be a teaching assistant. Some programs require you to be a research assistant. So you need to find out what the expectations are, so that'll help you manage your stress level. You don't want to go into an institution that's a research intensive institution thinking, I'm going to be a TA or a graduate assistant, and you don't want to be in the lab. Grad school selection process, I'm going to go through this extremely quick. Participate in graduate preparation conferences like you are, campus visits, become familiar with the timetable and deadlines for submitting your application. Make sure you have a purpose statement, GRE scores, and GRE varies from institution to institution and from program of study. Your transcripts, resume, work experience requirements, recommendation letters, and GPA requirements. So if you're thinking about going to grad school, make sure you kind of keep that in mind as you continue your undergrad education, because some of those things that you do in undergrad will be a factor on what opportunities there are for your graduate process. What's next as far as gaining admission? Make sure you fully understand the admission process at your selected university that you would like to attend. The graduate admission committee is mostly comprised of professors at that university. There'll be some in the department that you would be applying to, as well as some from the overall graduate school admissions office. Generate and submit a competitive application. Follow up and be proactive. That is very important, and that's with anything in life. Always follow up and be proactive. In conclusion, attending graduate school offers tangible and intangible opportunities. Earning potentials higher than those with just a bachelor's degree. Understanding factors that consider prior to starting your application will greatly enhance your chances of putting together a competitive application. Again, kind of to piggyback off that, you have a support system at your undergraduate level. If you think of a university that you want to apply to for graduate school, talk to your faculty. They may know another faculty at that particular university. Also, I think they'll be happy to review your application and make sure that you have everything covered and they don't see any areas that you can improve your application, especially if you have to write a personal statement. I think they'll be happy to do that for you. And also, be proactive about your investment in being made to pursue a graduate degree. Realize it's hard work, but you'll make it through it, just like you will make it through your undergrad. So, any questions for me? I know I did that fairly quickly. Oh, quiet.
You said you were going to give us a personal.
Okay, personal spiel. That's what everybody's waiting for, personal spiel. Okay. I think I'm a little different from most of your faculty. I am of course, a civil engineering business owner. I own my own civil engineering firm, and I also teach at North Carolina A&T State University. So I kind of bridge the gap between industry and academia. And so that gives me a different perspective. And I can tell you, I got a master's degree in civil engineering and urban planning and residential development. And those skills that I got from my advanced degree lends itself to running your own civil engineering company. Because here again, problems are more complex than they were 10 years ago. And so I have went back to some of the classes that I've taken in that master's degree program, and I've been able to apply them to real world problems. So again, in my opinion, I think an advanced degree is very important, at least at the master's level. But going all the way up to the PhD, it's a beautiful thing. Any questions? Oh, got hands now. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, me?
Yes.
How do you balance being a professor and owning your own business?
It's tough. It's challenging. Time management. A lot of time management. Let me get in the background.
What kind of advice would you give someone who has completed their BS civil engineering, science related STEM, who wants to pursue or is thinking about pursuing an MBA?
Okay. MBAs are great degrees because it teaches you the business side of it. It just depends on what you want to do as far as a career path. If you start out in the engineering field, you'll start out on the project engineer level and eventually work up to the project management level. So when doing project management, that MBA degree will come in handy, knowing some of the account companies, some of the stuff that we don't get, on the engineering side. So, that degree is very important. And it just depends on what you want to do. Yes, sir.
When you're applying for graduate school, how would you know whether or not you should get your master's or get your PhD? Because I know they're different, but
yeah.
I'm not sure what would be more better or something like that.
The progression is you have to get your master's, and then after you complete your master's, you can then go back to school and get your PhD. Some programs have a master PhD mix, meaning you'll start your master's or fast track your master's, and so you'll get that degree, but then you'll continue your project until you complete it, and at the end of that, you'll get your PhD.
Is there a difference, substantial difference between the two, when it comes to getting a job or something like that?
It depends on the type of job opportunity. Meaning, if you go to a company that's very research intensive, then they may be looking for PhD candidates. if you go out into industry, they may or may not be looking for a PhD level candidate. You might get the thing that you're overqualified because, you know, in industry, well, at least for civil engineering, you know, the most degree they look for is typically a master's in industry, but it just depends on what you're doing. If you're, like I said, if you go into a company that does a lot of cutting edge things that hadn't been done before, then they 9 out of 10 have a couple of PhDs floating around. So it just really depends on what you want to do. Thank you, sir. There is an evaluation form, so if you'll fill that out and make sure we get that back.
I didn't receive one.